Hello, I'm Paula. Welcome to my crafty channel. I'm actually going to be going through a little series this month. It is the final month of Close to My Heart, which I have been a member of for the last 10 or 11 years. So I thought I would highlight a few of the fun things we have learnt and gathered over the years with our time with Close to My Heart. So first off though, I do want to say I appreciate my crafting community so much, and I do not think it's going to change by moving to different product suppliers. To me, the emphasis is certainly about building community, whether it's online, whether it's through watching a Facebook or YouTube video, whatever, or whether it's attending one of my classes. I do welcome you, and I very much enjoy having that crafting community to be a part of. So this here is just going to be a little bit bittersweet, going through some of the memories and actually enjoying some of these really fabulous opportunities we've had over the last 10 years. I hope you join me in this little series and get a little bit of fun out of it as well. So when we started with Close to My Heart, we were given this lovely joining kit. Now this was the first time we had really had much exposure to stamping, which was a pretty exciting time, stamps and inks. And we had this beautiful range called Chantilly. I think it was Chantilly actually, and that lovely catalogue that you can see the sun ray in the background. So that was our starting introduction to Close to My Heart. And here is one of my very first layouts with the Close to My Heart product. So we absolutely loved that idea of stamping. You can see some of my stamps aren't quite on the circles as they should be, but I was all new to it. And we also had these little introduction to things like buttons and more sparkly gems. And you'll see my little stamping over the side here as well. Here's another layout put together with the same paperway. And this one, you can start to see that I pulled in some inking around the edges. I clustered up a whole heap of embellishments, and these are all quite strong chipboard embellishments, and a lot of that sort of paper piecing of bits and pieces together. And then the final layout in this little series that I put together, I was making use of the zip strips for the first time, cutting out these really lovely framing elements from the Cricut, and again using your chipboard and your Cricut titles. So it was a really new world to walk ourselves into. Close to My Heart gave us so many wonderful products, and they were in all of these different catalogues you see in front of you. I think there's over 50 in this pile. The range was amazing, and the first catalogue I've actually got is from February to July 2014. So who remembers the Laughing Lola range? That was a gorgeous set. It had a very vintage look and these lovely little extra pieces like little, what are they called, paper clip ribbons. So much fun, and you can see I'm starting to pull in alphabet stamping. What about Sarita? That was another lovely range. Again, I've gone for the Lagoon. Lagoon is still a product colour we've got in our range now, which is pretty amazing. Look at the Sarita through here. This was when we got our boat, which was a very long time ago. Then, of course, some of you remember this because it was just to bring back my pack recently. So we had the Skylark range. Such a pretty range, a lot softer with these nice little neutral, sort of more nature-loving style. And then we went into some really pretty types of ranges. So we've got this one here, which is our Ivy Lane. I just had to remember the name of it. So we've got Ivy Lane, which you can see I've actually bought in gold thread and done some stitching for a heart around the corner there, and lots of Cricut cuts. Really fun. And of course the beautiful Ariana, which, as you can see, I have taken on board the cover of this catalogue with stitching down the side. Again, it's actual stitching that I've popped in there with some black thread, and our gorgeous little flourishy embellishments that were in there. Another double page using that beautiful Ariana range is this one here. I think this has got to be one of my favorites from earlier on, with the layering up of the papers and that just really nice design with a big frame. And boys are not forgotten, we also had Timberline. Isn't that a fun one? Although I put this actually as my daughter's, her first trout that she caught in the lakes. But yeah, isn't it a fabulous look and feel of a male, more masculine range? The catalogues continued to inspire us through the years. This one here is July 24, 25, and it had this beautiful brushed range in the collection, which I still absolutely love. And here's a little sample of a page that I put together using that really pretty range. Really fun. We also moved into having some other styles of albums we could put together, some little flip albums that we could have hanging up. Always a nice fun addition, something a little bit different. Then when we moved up to 2015-16, my favourite collection in this book has got to be, by a long shot, Urban. Urban is such an awesome boy range. Obviously it's got a city feel about it, but generally it's just the vibe of boys. So this one here, In the Zone, that was one of the stamp sets. Lovely big titles. Really enjoyed playing with that. And again, another type of craft. We had these little canvases, and I've popped together a little scrapbook I suppose display, and William's still got these on his shelf. There's 3 in a row, and they were made way back in the day in 2015, which is really fun. Moving into 2016 and 17, who remembers these guys? We had our Fundamentals collections, we had our Whimsy, Adventure, Enchantment, and our Basics, which is a long time ago. It feels like a long time ago that we were working with these more plainer styles. Now here is an example of one of those, I think it was Whimsy, put together as a little layout. Nice and simple soft colours. I actually think Whimsy was my favourite. Basics was pretty good too though, I do recall. At the same time we were doing things like our little necklaces. Do you remember those with the charms that we added in? And we also brought in that really awesome organisational collection where we had places to store our inks and our adhesives, all our bits and pieces in our range. So over 2017 and 18, we were still using our different fundamental collections. We had our Whimsy, and we brought in more softer papers this time, more decorative papers. The Adventure, the Enchantment, and the Basics. You might recall some of those. And here's a little sample. These ones were a bit of a mixture between the Whimsy and the Adventure ones. Really nice and soft. That was from a little photo shoot that I had through school with our family. Here's another example. Weren't they lovely? Just nice soft backgrounds, making the most of a little bit of stamping in the background, but making the photos sing. So they were a really lovely time in our range for pulling forth a lot of focus on our photos. It was also the last time this year that we sold our cricket collections. Do you remember these cricket collections when you got your actual, or even if I can open these up, you've got your little booklet, your little cartridge, and they popped into our more manual style cricket machines. It was after that that Design Space came in and it became a lot more digitized. Now we're moving into 2019 to 2020, and this is when we introduced our Craft with Heart subscription. It seems like we've had that in for so long. That was where we made quick kits using everything supplied, and it just got mailed to your doorstep. So here's a couple of quick kits I put together, and they really were quite lovely layouts. This one here is used in William's album for his Ames Games for his second year, I think it was, at Ames Games, which worked really well. And here's another cute one of our little Lily when she arrived in our home as a tiny weeny little kitten. So, you know, it was just it was pre-printed, but you still had the opportunity to change up the number of photos you put on and where you placed your embellishments. Nice quick scrapbooking made easy. It was also a time when we introduced shaker elements. So that was when you're starting to put on circle shakers. I think it was only circle shakers in this book. I'm just trying to see if there's a quick image of them in here. I know we've got, yeah, there's our circle shaker window and die using the foam tape. You can see an example in the picture, and here's an example here on one of the layouts that I put together with a little cute shaker element. So the last thing that we were starting to introduce a lot more of around the 2020 time was many more mixed media style of offerings. So we had our markers, pencils, stickles, shimmer brushes. So and we were able to start creating quite a lot more sort of complete layouts, a little bit more I suppose you could say busy in a way, depending on how you put those pieces together. So this was actually an album retreat layout, and it had a lot going on, stenciling, different elements that have been die cut, stamped on the backgrounds, pieces splattered. It's really, really pretty, a bit of glitter paper and all. So that's how we were evolving, moving on beyond the basic fundamentals into something a little bit more involved and a little bit more technique driven. Oh, I love this catalogue as we moved into 2021. It was definitely much more filled with your mixed media products. We brought in things like our gloss sprays and our glitter gels and distress ink pads, and we also brought in some specialty papers. So we had the bronze, see if I can find them, the bronze and the sparkly, let's see, where are they? Lost them all. They're in here somewhere. I've got a couple of examples of artwork to show you with them being used. So here they all are, the holographic papers on top of, we already had glitter paper, and then the ore and pearl papers and the foil papers. So let's have a little look at a couple of things I created during this year. So we had this gorgeous page. So this is using some of those gold foil papers in the background, a bit of the shimmer trim cut skinny, and then you can see that holographic paper behind this large cricket cut of a diamond, which was actually a saying that she had in one of her classes about being tough like a diamond or something. So that's where that whole diamond idea came from. So that was a lot of fun. And then we also some more mixed media. So here's an example of one of the mixed media styles I tried out. So a lot more splattering with different inks all the way around and shimmer brushes, just to add a little bit more of a whimsical touch on that one. And then this one here was really all out. We went to the World of Wearable Arts down in Wellington, and because it was such an artsy place, I thought, let's make this as artsy as I can. So I pulled in those gloss sprays and did the rainbow effect of the colours all running down the page. So really a good time to explore lots of different arty mediums in this catalogue. And then our final 3 years from September 21 through to now in 2024, we have really just seen a huge growth in techniques and some really fun themed papers. So there was a very, very neat school paper. It's called Smarty Pants, and here's just one example of one of the layouts that was shown in it, using stickers, using splatters, really, really awesome. We pulled in a new tool which was masking tape, and so you can see how I've masked up, torn and masked up different levels and created the ombre effect in the background on this piece, and masking up also on this one, using masking to create this little sort of graduating strip at the base, of which I've stamped over the top. And then of course the stencils have just grown and grown in popularity, and look at this fabulous page with some stencil work and some new patterns from our Make It From Your Heart pattern books. So our catalogues have really been quite an adventure. It has been so many years of so many beautiful, beautiful ideas in them, from my earliest one of this right through to our latest one of this. It's been such a pleasure going through all of these books again, and I have only shown you artwork really from our core books. We had all of our seasonal catalogues as well, which I haven't even touched. So there has been quite a change, quite a shift, and so many fun ideas through the years in our Close to My Heart catalogues. I hope you enjoyed going through this walkthrough with me. Stay tuned and we will look at some other fabulous things from Close to My Heart, continuing on through this series. Take care. See you.